Welcome to I'm on the Phone with moms Sarah and Christy. You're on the party line. Let's have some fun. Hi, Christy.
Hi, Sarah. What's up, girl?
Oh, you know, the world and everything in it. But guess what?
What?
I don't know if it's this way over there. It is my favorite weather outside right now.
Yes, you're finally getting some rain.
Yes, like rain, rain, not just little misty misties, like rain. And
Yeah,
it's making me so happy.
that's awesome. Yeah, we've gotten plenty of rain. It's overcast here, but not there's no rain on the forecast for us today.
Oh, well, we have a decent amount. And like I said, it's making me so happy.
That's awesome. Get a good book.
Oh, it makes me want to like just sit down and crochet and like listen to a book. There's a book series that I need to finish that I have been kind of avoiding. Like I had to take a break from a couple of my book series that I'm in because oh my gosh, it was just like this particular book series is Spark of the Everflame. I don't know if you know that one, and I can't remember the author right now.
No.
Really good, like really, really good.
Have you told me about this one before?
Don't know. I don't think so.
That doesn't sound
You
familiar.
haven't been reading much with me lately because
I
like things have been too chaotic for you.
it has.
But I've been reading this one and like I kind of have a love-hate relationship with it.
Yeah.
Because it is a really great story, but it's not spicy enough for me. To
Yeah.
be honest, we're hitting book 3 and I'm like, what the hell are you doing? Like
There is a level you have to reach for Sarah.
I mean, I'm not that hard to please, but like we're on like practically 0 at this point.
Oh my
And I'm like, girl, what are you thinking?
God.
And then there's other stuff with her that her character just frustrates me.
Yeah.
But I guess it's still such a good story. Um,
I hate that when you
oh
finish the story, but the main character is just not, you're not vibing with her. And
yeah, like well, I do and I don't. And
right.
it's like, and sometimes it's like, I mean, she has a lot of trauma.
Yeah.
And so like I get it, but okay. And so my problem is that I also have trauma.
Right.
And I don't know if it's just because like I've done so much work on it and like I recognize things and it's hard to watch her not see what's clearly in front of her.
Oh, right.
To still be so mentally and psychologically stuck.
Yeah.
And sometimes I think they do that on purpose just to draw it out. Like
Yeah, but that's frustrating. That's almost
that's a little frustrating.
Yeah, I would hate that.
Yeah, but it also it's I can't even get a sentence out about it. It's frustrating to watch it in real life. I see it happen in real life all the time. And it is one of the most frustrating things to watch. Partly because I mean it has real life consequences.
Right. And not just for the person.
Yeah, and I'm not like angry. Some of it does make me angry because the people that I'm aware of who are stuck like this are in the cult that we came from.
Right.
And there are very, very deep consequences to being in that cult.
Right.
And it's the people who, in my opinion, are halfway in and halfway out.
Yep.
Who can't who will make an external break as far as like appearance. Or and that's even partial sometimes.
Right.
But they don't make a full break. Like they don't, it's like they get far enough to where it's comfortable. Like they feel like a, a certain amount of freedom, maybe. And when it comes to like how you dress and present yourself, there's a lot to be said for that when you feel like, oh, I can actually dress myself how I like and how I prefer, and that's good.
Mhm.
But they don't understand, and they haven't reached that level yet where they don't see the whole picture.
Mhm.
And I remember being in that place where I was like, if we could just find a church that still believed the same way but didn't require the same outward appearance, that would be so wonderful, right?
Mhm.
But the more studying I have done and the more work I have done and coming to understand the full impact of those beliefs
Mhm.
and where those naturally lead when you follow through,
Yeah.
those got to go too.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Because they're still ingrained
there's
somewhere.
a lot of mindset that
Yeah.
needs a 180, really.
Absolutely. And it's almost in my opinion, it's almost worse to have that in between point.
Yes, it's so much more confusing.
Yeah, than it is to be all the way in or all the way out.
Yep.
Especially if there's kids involved. I
Oh
mean,
my goodness.
fusion and the back and the forth and the I mean, even with my own situation, like I'm giving this year is the end of all. And so
Mhm.
like
Yeah, you have to do some
I've
in
said that
stages.
like piece by piece by piece by piece by piece, we are out completely as far as like in my mental, the way
Like the
that I,
mindset.
yeah, the mindset and everything like that. The kids are as well. And I keep like the school they go to, I feel like is still very much in that. And this is their last year. I mean, it's just has to be that way. Like I don't really feel I actually just found out the reason they're there, the only reason they're there is because of the teacher they have. My kids love her. She's safe for them.
Yep.
She's a phenomenal teacher and she loves the kids, like genuinely loves the kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Even though she is still in, I would
Yeah.
say,
Mindset wise.
I
Yeah.
do love her because she loves my kids so much and she just does a good job. But they're leaving. I just found that out last night. Yeah.
Oh,
And whenever they leave, we will leave. And I don't know if they're going to leave halfway through the year or if it will be at the end of the year.
I mean, I hope for your sake it's the end of the year.
Well, she basically she told me that her and her husband are wanting to complete their contracts, like with the school, and that's the end of the
The
year.
end of the school year. Yeah.
So the thing is that I'm sure they have. She hasn't told me this. I'm assuming there's probably an opportunity waiting for them. From what I
Yeah.
understand, there's an opportunity waiting for them, and I don't know where
Do you
that.
want to bet it's here?
Huh?
What you want to bet it's over here?
Very possibly. Very
It
possibly.
keeps happening. It
Well,
keeps coming from yours to the one
yeah.
local to me.
But here's the thing: is it's so crazy to me. The entire ministry team has resigned.
What?
That involves three whole families in that church. And here is the reason why I think it is because even though the ministry team has pulled away from the cult like, you know, whatever, the church itself and the board members are still very ingrained in that cultural or in that cult like mindset. And I believe that they have put a lot of pressure on the ministry team because of their, partly of their, and I am assuming here, but there have been a few things said directly to me from the ministry team that have made me think that there's a lot of pressure on them because they've been pulled away. And there was even one lady who's a counselor, really. I mean, she's like a life coach. And she told me that even some of the people that she has helped has been questioned because they are not in the cult and they're not living, or they're
Questioned.
no, not that they're in the not in the cult. They are going away from the cult.
So they're questioning her coaching.
They're questioning the fact that she's coaching these women, really, and that are moving away from like what we have done.
Well, that probably says that she's telling them the right things, in my opinion. If
Exactly.
you're moving away from that.
Told the board members, look, I cannot, the calling that I have been called to do does not discriminate.
Nope.
And she has really tried to stand her ground, but she has been under like,
I'm sure she's under a lot of pressure and fire because if you don't comply and if your results don't result in having the same thoughts and ideas, um, then you are wrong.
Yeah, it's crazy because I mean the entire ministry team all at the same time resigned on the same day.
Like in the last week? I am shocked. Like every heavy hitter they have.
The whole entire ministry team, Sarah.
Are they trying to take it back to a CHM church?
The board members. Yeah, I believe they are. Oh, and he is very non-patriarchal. He has
right. I mean, I asked them directly about that. Well, that's very interesting. I'll just put it that way. It wouldn't surprise me to see them move to a certain different location, but obviously I have no idea. And maybe they'll go back somewhere else. But now I'm going to be really curious.
I know. I'm anxious to see where they will settle because they're very.
Maybe they don't have it. Did she say they had a place?
Just on the Facebook post, the person said there was other ministry opportunities that were available to them. I think that's the way they put it. So no, they've not obviously told anybody where they're going or anything like that. But
I can imagine they're building the team over here. They're like really beefing it up. Mm-hmm. And they need, honestly, they need people like them. Who are like, just with that kindness factor, who aren't complying to the cult mentality.
Well, I remember a book, Lies Young Women Believe, and then The Lies Women Believe.
Yes.
Which is so triggering to me every time I even hear the name of the book. And I can stand Nancy Lee DeMoss. I'm sorry.
I cannot stand her. Oh, I have so much.
She is.
I could talk about that for a minute.
Is one of the most toxic people,
mm-hmm.
writers, and it's so dangerous for our young girls to read her books.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not even sorry. I just can't stand her. But
oh no! I have. Oh,
yeah. I told
yes.
one of the teachers last year, or one of the workers last year, about that book and how horrible it was. And how much more let's see, how much more it sort of is amplified, the word I'm looking for, like spoke more about Satan than it did about God, actually, in that book.
Oh,
and there was like a comparison to how many times it talked about God, how many times it talked about Satan. And it was crazy how many more times it was about Satan. And that's like the whole thing that I'm trying to get
that is a theme with these people.
Yeah. I'm trying to get my kids away from is this just suffocating fear about this this demon, basically. And I remember telling her about that, just mentioning the book to her. And she just sort of like got these huge eyes. And she said, I did not know that about that book.
Mhm.
And she said, our one of our ministry teams did that last year for a teen Bible study.
Okay.
So this morning, me and my daughter are talking, and a while back, I read a book to her, or I read a book to my book, and it was talking about the gospel of inclusion and how
Yeah.
God was an inclusive God. When he was
Right.
on earth, he included, he loved everyone. Everyone was welcome at his table, at the table where he was.
Hmm.
They were talking about that, and I came home and shared that with her, that book,
Yeah.
how God does not discriminate, and there's no, all of this stuff, and how much it had released me about the things that God really does not require of us, and
Right.
how easy he is to please. And, if you believe in him, these are not the issues we think are not issues, not even half of them are. And so
No, they're just
I just,
distractions from the real issue.
yeah, and I just remember talking with her about that, and it was like the next day, or anyway, she reminded me of this again, but she was just like, it completely released her of that fear, and
Same.
she's been able to sleep. And I mean, she still has, her nights when she's got like insomnia and stuff like that, and we're working through that, but she was released from that fear, and it was like the best thing I've ever heard. It was
Yeah.
amazing. So yeah.
Um, so I'm thinking, given the history of where these people went to school or continue, like college, because it's the same place I went.
Yeah.
Um, Nancy Lee DeMoss is some required reading and listening there
Oh my goodness.
for a particular class that I particularly hate, um, because it's just another cult class. It's brainwashing, and oh my goodness, my a little personal history with Miss DeMoss. It's not DeMoss anymore. She got married finally. Interestingly enough, she wrote all this stuff about marriage well before she ever got married, and she was like what in her 50s or 60s when she got married.
It had to be. I didn't
Um,
know she got married. Oh, that's interesting. Well, I just quit.
yeah, and I can't remember her married name. I don't really care. Um,
Honestly.
but one of the things that we were required to listen to, it was from one of her radio programs. But this series was called "Does God Care What I Wear?"
Uh,
Ugh. Oh my gosh. And so, funnily enough, so weird. I got through that college without taking part. So, like the second semester of that class, and that's when you had to listen to that, I think. And so, when early on in my marriage, like my husband had already taken the full class, and I mean,
okay.
he really took it in. Um, like if I could erase that one from his brain, I would.
No kidding.
Like yeah, that class in particular was it did a large amount of brainwashing on a lot of people.
Now, did a
Um,
man actually, wasn't it a man professor?
yeah, I
Yeah.
was a male professor.
Yeah.
Um, again with a big name,
Yeah.
and it's one of those things too. Again, it's like how can someone be so incredibly intelligent and smart and so stupid?
Oh yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
like, and it's brainwashing. That's the only way that there's so much cognitive dissonance, and it's really hard to see in someone that intelligent.
Uh-huh.
because the intelligence is there.
Right.
But when you were like brought up from day one
Hmm.
with brainwashing,
Right.
and one of the things that has stuck with me that we were told in class by his father, also a professor,
Hmm.
and I have such a hard time with this because like have like I feel like I'm still in this like limbo on how to feel about them, especially his dad. I like him more. I can't stand his son at all. Um, um, but his dad told us, and this just goes to show like how significant and psychological it is. So he told us in class that, you know, when him and his wife got married, he wanted children and she didn't because they couldn't guarantee that they would be Christians or, members of the same cult. Um, Essentially, that's not what he said, of course, but
That's
that
what,
they
that's
wouldn't
what
be
I did.
like them. Yeah, they wouldn't end up exactly like them.
Okay.
And he told her that he could guarantee it.
Oh, okay.
And so they had children, two sons. One of the things that he told his children growing up was that if they ever strayed from this religion, that he would eat until he wouldn't eat. He would starve himself until he passed, and it would be their fault because he would fast and pray for them until his death.
Okay. I don't understand why anybody doesn't see that as a cult. Like, and highly abusive on those boys.
It is. It's extremely psychologically abusive. Like that is some serious coercion and manipulation. And like just I don't know if he used the words exactly your fault, but obviously it implies it at the very least. Like if I die, it's because you didn't listen to God. And you or I mean, like there's just so much right there. Like it just makes my skin crawl.
Wow.
Yeah. And I'm like, well, then of course they're going to do and say everything that you teach them to do and say and believe
Right.
because,
They don't want to have that
and then it
on
gets all spiritualized and idolized. I mean,
that.
lots of idolization of how their children turned out. Because, I mean, again, these are brilliant minds. And it's so sad how these minds are, in my opinion, wasted,
Wasted. Absolutely.
completely wasted.
Yep. Yep.
It still boggles my mind how, and again, these are like, strangely enough, educated people. Like, especially the wife, like, she's a scientist, basically. She's like a really, or what does she do? Some sort of like insane medical research, like really high level research.
Wow.
And like should be aware of neurodevelopment of children and like what's appropriate developmentally.
Right.
And it is the complete opposite.
That's
Like, I mean, like one of the, I think she wrote a book even on child rearing. And
wrote a book.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah. And I can't remember if it was in the book or if it was something that they said in class, but I want to say it's in the book or they did like traveled and did like some like weekend seminars and stuff like that. But I mean, one of the things I said was like, if you can't get your child to behave, like go for like a full week where every time that they disobey and don't obey, like instantaneously, like you just spank them,
Yeah,
which
that's the answer to everything.
that is the answer to everything. I'm like, of course a child's going to comply when every move they make ends up in pain.
Yeah,
I'm like, that's not, again, that's abuse.
yeah,
That is abuse, especially when you're talking about children that young.
right.
I personally believe it's abuse no matter what. There's just too much reason
Well,
to prove otherwise.
child, think about that. Like I've been thinking about that recently. How there was so much pressure
Hmm.
around the discipline of children, and it was even talked to from by you know by men behind the pulpit who,
How dare they interrupt their sermon, you know,
yeah, and it
if
was
the
like
baby's crying.
and it was babies. I
Uh-huh.
remember somebody told me that I should have spanked 6 months old, or no, no, no. Oh, he was younger than that, and he was just screaming. But here's the thing with him is that the medication I was on for
Uh-huh.
leveling hormones and stuff like that, and depression and all of that stuff. I mean, I was 39 when I had him. So
Oh,
I was already going through so much of the,
hormonal shifts.
I actually almost lost him in the very beginning of the pregnancy. Like I had to
My
take
goodness.
medication because I was spotting and they were afraid I was going to miscarry.
Yeah.
And so the medication I was taking didn't protect him. Like it wasn't one that didn't cross over basically. So when he was born, he went through withdrawals and he did that for the first 4 months of his life. And he would just scream like,
Yeah.
and somebody literally said to me, well, he's just mad and he needs a swat. And this was before he was even 4 months old. And then come to find out, he had a dairy allergy. And I had to get off of milk because I was nursing him. I had to get off of dairy, and it completely changed that child. Like
Oh my goodness.
he was able to, he wasn't having tummy issues, and it's just like these are the kinds of things that they put into your head
They
that
do. And they spiritualize it all. Everything is a spiritual issue.
carnality.
And yes.
Carnality is in your child and it
Mhm.
has to be beaten out of them. This is true stuff. I mean, I've heard this word for word that it has to be beaten out of them in order to get it. And it's all about bringing them under control.
Yep.
Here's the thing. I heard something just the other day, and this guy was talking about his daughter, and he said, I want my daughter to act like a child. I do not want to control her actions or her emotions. He said, and this is why. I want her to be able to speak up for herself when she's older. I want
Hmm.
her to, if there's injustice happening and I'm not, parents don't do everything right. And there have been several times I've walked into a situation with my kids that they're all upset at each other and they
Hmm.
all have valid reasons for being upset with each other.
Yep.
You do not know how to help that situation, and you're just going to go around beating everybody in the group. I mean, that is just chaotic to me. Why? It's all about control and about making them align to actions that only you are
Yeah.
satisfied with. It is the most toxic thing you
It
could.
is all about behavioral management. It is
Yeah,
not about teaching them how to even learn their emotions and understand their emotions and like what to do with them when they happen because they're gonna happen.
absolutely.
And you're only ever allowed to feel joy or happiness or just something neutral. You're
Right.
not allowed to be angry, I mean, or upset. And
Anger is carnality.
yeah, and when you're not allowed to feel those emotions, as a child, I mean, and as a child, I mean, they're always so big and dysregulated, and but they do make sense. I mean, like the whole sharing issue to me just has always blown my mind because children don't know how to share. It is not cognitively possible for them to understand that concept until a much later age. And even then, and this was just one that I just was like, this doesn't make sense. Do I share my things as an adult? No. And if I
No.
do, it's really only with people that I know and trust.
Right. Yeah.
Like, my neighbors aren't allowed to just come over and borrow anything.
No.
None of my friends, with probably you being the one exception, can just come and borrow anything.
Yeah.
Like, this is my stuff. I take care of it. I keep it in a certain place, usually, or at least know where it's at. But, like, sharing is not an adult thing that is common, except with very close, vetted, and trusted friends.
Right.
So why should they have to share as a child?
Right.
And it teaches you entitlement to other people's things.
Exactly. That's exactly right. I never even thought about it that way, but that is exactly right.
Like, I want it,
Like if they don't
therefore
share,
they should give it to me because I want it.
yeah,
And that is the only reason.
right.
I want it.
Well, I got to a place when we were pastoring that I would tell my kids when we would have people over, I would tell
Uh-huh.
my kids if there is something that you do not want these kids to play with, I
Yep.
want you to go to your room right now and put it in a safe
Put it
place.
away.
What they would do is they would bring it to my room and put it in my closet because the kids weren't allowed in my room.
Right.
Really, I didn't let them go in my daughter's room.
Right.
It was like, they would just some of those kids would just come in and just destroy everything. And I even got to the place where I was just like, okay, it's cleanup time because I knew my limits. And I was like, okay, let's go pick up
Mhm.
the toys. And, I wasn't going to make my kids just whatever. But but they were not like close friends, if that makes sense. Like
Right.
people that you would have over for a Sunday afternoon meal, and it was always under the ministry. This is what we do too. But most of the time, it was highly traumatizing on my kids to even
Yeah.
have any of their toys because
Yeah.
anything that belonged to them was special.
Right.
So,
Well, it's like an attack on your autonomy.
right,
And children have so little autonomy. The one thing they have that they can or should be able to control is their own toys, like their own stuff.
and
That's the one thing that they have.
what is so sad, Sarah, is that for a very long time, the biggest discrimination has been against children. It's not, you can't even
It's
say,
lit
it still is. And you cannot even say, I feel like it's a lot better now, but you cannot even
in some
say
ways, yeah.
that different races and different, sexual orientations and all that has been discriminated against the way that children have. And that is highly triggering to me because I remember being discriminated against so many times. And I mean, when you treat a child a certain way just
Mhm.
because of the actions of their parents, that is discrimination, right? Like
Yep.
that is so toxic. And it's, of course,
That's like the one thing sorry to interrupt, I always felt so bad for because I ended up in these situations where there's lots of kids. None of them chose their parents, obviously. And I mean, mentioned this, I don't know, a couple episodes ago, but I just ended up in situations where these kids had, in my opinion, horrible parents
yeah,
and who didn't, again, this is definitely my opinion and I still think I'm right, But
You are
there
right.
was so little. It was weird because it was like in some ways there was a lot of very overbearingness, like lots of control. And then on the other hand, there was none at all.
Yeah.
And it was confusing to watch. I'm like, how can you be this strict and controlling in one area, but I mean, is like non-existent when it came to like knowing where their kids were. Like, I'm like,
That was one of
do
the,
you have a clue? And I mean, but it got so bad to the point where like, if they couldn't find their kids, they just came to my house.
yeah.
And I'm just like, well, I thought they should probably be in a safe place. They're going to come here anyways. They want to play and they play and they had fun and they're sweet kids.
Yeah.
Um, they wanted a snack, and that's a whole nother ball of wax that I'm probably not going to get into on here. Um,
Yeah.
so I'd give them a little snack because they were so hungry.
Yeah.
Of course, every kid is hungry Sunday night after or Sunday morning. Like they're just hungry. Kids are hungry, like
All the time.
all the time. Always want a snack. Want a snack. And so I'd always give them a little snack because some of them had a really long ways to go before they would even get home.
Right.
But they had snacks at church too. But it was just mind-boggling to me, that whole situation. But
So sad.
yeah, it's frustrating. Of course, these kids probably wouldn't even agree at this point, but they're so warped and brainwashed as well at this point.
Right.
It there's some I have hope for that eventually they'll see it. I hope
Yeah.
they'll see it and get out.
Yeah.
I hope so bad.
I've got there's kids everywhere that I've thought of.
Yeah, because they're pretty much grown up at this point. There was several in the family, but there's some that are like married, two that are married, and the third could I
Yeah.
think they're getting close to that age. Of course, for that family, you don't even have to be 18. So,
Yeah. Wow.
hmm. But anyways, so mindset. All right, I'm going to segue into something I want to ask you about because
Okay.
it's still connected to this crazy world. Oh my goodness. Did not expect to talk about all that today. Sometimes we have
I
things that are
know.
like yes, let's talk about this, and sometimes it just leads into stuff, which
Yeah. We
leaves
can
that
have a
material
whole plan mapped out and
and totally leave it
not
behind.
even get past the first subject that we planned on.
Yes. So, okay. My husband, bless his heart, watches our podcast. I love him for that. Uh, thank you, honey. Um, but he made a movie recommendation.
Oh,
Yeah.
tell me what it is.
Okay. The movie came out in 2001 with Matthew McConaughey.
Oh, okay.
Frailty.
What is it called?
Frailty.
Frailty. I have not seen that.
You
Okay.
might have already seen this one. Oh my goodness.
Crap. I've not seen that one. I'm gonna write it down though. Frailty. I like
Frailty.
him. I mean, I
I
like.
love Matthew McConaughey. I like all his stuff, and I'm like, all right, all right, all right. Um,
Good movies, but most of what I've seen out of him is more on the
rom com.
yeah, yeah. Oh, I
He's got some good ones, and I haven't watched them all.
Time to Kill. That one was terrible. I would never watch it again, but it was a really good story.
I might have to, I know that title.
Yeah, he played it. Sandra Bullock was
Yeah, yes, yes. Okay, I have seen that.
yeah. It was the
That
first
was really good.
compliment,
Is that?
and
I think it's the one I'm thinking of. She was in another one that was like psychological thriller,
Yeah.
murdery
With him, I mean?
with her, with
Oh,
Sandra Bullock.
yeah,
Was it called Seven?
maybe.
Seven?
But anyway, he is. I couldn't watch that movie again because it's highly triggering, but it was amazing.
This
Story.
one might. I'm not sure how it's going to land. Like,
I'll read about it and see.
well, I mean, it's in the description,
Is it
but
Halloween?
no, no.
Oh, okay, okay, okay,
It actually is labeled as a psychological thriller.
okay.
It's
I
not
love psychological trauma.
it's not gory per se. It
Okay,
is a little bloody,
okay,
but not it's not gratuitous. It's not like overdone.
yeah.
And this is what my husband was telling me. He's like the storytelling and the acting is so good. It's so believable.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
There, I mean, oh, so the trigger warning with this one for us especially,
Mhm.
you're going to hear a lot of phrases that we have probably said at one point and definitely heard,
Oh,
and
okay,
they're religious.
okay.
It's fundy, very fundy language.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's good to know. So for sure,
It didn't bother me, but I was just like,
uh,
what? Excuse me?
it's
Because
so
I've
interesting
heard
to hear it on a movie. You think that it's like in
the
a little corner of the world only.
beginning, the beginning scenes of these two little boys singing Sunday school songs that we sang.
Uh,
Ugh! It was
yeah,
so weird. And that's the thing. Through the whole movie, I was actually nervous to watch it just looking at the cover because I thought it was going to be scary.
yeah.
It was never scary, which
Okay.
it was never. I
It
like.
all
I started
psychological.
watching this at like 11 o'clock at night.
Okay. Well, that's
It
what
wasn't scary.
I can watch
Um,
some really scary stuff during the day, but
it
if
wasn't
I watch
scary.
it at night, I can't even get up and go to the bathroom by myself. Sometimes, and that's what's so funny is that I kind of like that feeling, you know?
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
I'm like,
not me. I hate that feeling. Oh.
I love the spooky, and my oldest daughter does too. Like it's sort of like I don't know, it's just a vibe with
I think
us,
my oldest daughter does too.
huh?
I think my oldest daughter likes that too.
Yeah.
I
It's,
can't handle
well,
that. That's
especially
not a good
around
thing for me.
it depends on the type of scare though that it is. And
Yeah. I felt that I think I felt those feelings a lot more as a kid and
okay.
it was really difficult for me.
Well,
And of course I never
there's
that I recall I wasn't able to tell anyone. I didn't feel like I could tell anyone.
well, if you didn't have an outlet, Sarah, that makes a lot of sense.
Well, no, definitely did not.
You were
Um,
raised a lot more strict than I was, though. Like
oh yes.
I was watching scary stuff at the age of like 10 and 11 that I would not allow my kids to watch at all, except my oldest daughter.
I mean, the stuff that I watched was very, very tame. It was like Disney. If I watched,
Yeah.
like I told you before, like we didn't even have a monitor until I was probably like, oh, goodness. I know it was I remember the house I was in. I have a hard time putting ages on it though. I
Yeah.
want to say 12
Okay.
ish. I, pre, I think I was a preteen still.
Okay.
I'm not entirely sure. Um,
Wow.
yeah. And so I'm trying to, there was like even some, like, was it Sleeping Beauty scared me? Um,
At what age?
I'm trying to remember when I would have even seen it. I was pretty young.
Okay.
I'm gonna check the time. I might have to create another meeting.
Oh, yeah, we got 4 minutes left.
Okay. That's fine. Just want to put that in there. Um, Wizard of Oz scared me. The
Oh,
witch
yeah.
always scared the fire out of me. Um,
Which one?
the witch from The Wicked Witch of the
Oh,
West.
yeah. No, she, my brother had nightmares. Woke up the first time we watched that, woke up in the middle of the night. He was like 3 or 4 screaming. And they didn't know why, but it was from he got older and that realized he where he could communicate. He didn't talk at all until he was like 5. He did jibber jabber and stuff like that, but to talk to other people, it was like he was like 5. And so communicate with them to tell him what was scaring him so bad
Yeah.
was their Oz. So yeah, that one was
Wow.
really scary to him. So it doesn't.
Yeah. But I'm like, I didn't even like, I'm trying to remember what, so the stuff that I watched. So if I watched anything before that, it wasn't at my house. I watched stuff at my one of my grandma's house. I would watch Bob Ross, and
Oh, I loved him.
I love Bob Ross.
Oh
He
my,
taught me so much.
I know. Same.
Um, and I would like when I was there, and this would have been like under age 7, and then on the occasion, like whenever we would visit,
He was
I
so
would watch.
calming. His energy
Yes. Oh, and it just fascinated me.
was amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But I watched Saturday morning cartoons, so those were really tame, like really tame. Um, I watched so as I got older, and as like some of the more classic Disney movies were coming out, like Beauty and the Beast and all that kind of stuff. I watched them at a friend's house. Um, and I'm not joking. Like I don't like we watched a lot of like John Wayne, like some westerns and stuff like that. Like um, big western fans,
Yeah.
like spaghetti, the spaghetti westerns. um,
I loved John Wayne movies though.
yeah, we were big John Wayne fans. In fact, my my paternal grandfather was a huge John Wayne fan. And we, for one of his, like, I think his birthday or Christmas, got him one of those, like, life-size cutouts of John Wayne.
That
He
was
loved it.
fun.
He
I
loved
bet he
it.
did. Did he
But
put it
then
in the garage or dining
when when he passed, we got it back.
room?
We had some fun with that, but I'm not joking. We probably about sent at least one time or another every member of my immediate family to the hospital with a heart attack with that thing. Like just scaring the crap out of people because like we'd sit it in the hallway where you come in from the garage and you think there was someone there,
That is terrible.
or
Oh
it
my,
would be like sitting in the diner and you just walk by and there's just somebody there,
it's
and, just,
so
and you think you're
charming.
alone.
Oh, that's hilarious. That is hilarious.
But yeah, we watched lots of John Wayne and oh, what's that guy? Hiyo Silver Away. What's his name?
Oh,
Um,
um, yeah. Yeah, of course I don't know it now.
Yeah, and I can never remember those kind of names when I want to. But yeah, lots of westerns and that kind of stuff. So nothing scary.
Right.
Lots of horses cluck, 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 cluck on the chase, like head them off at the pass, like
Cowboys and Indians. That's all
cowboys and
it was.
Indians. Of course, like Don Knotts and stuff like that. So yeah, my entertainment was very tame.
Yeah.
And it was fun. Like, I mean, it was great entertainment. And Anna Green Gables, forever in my heart. I love her so much. Um,
She was a safe show. That's
oh yeah, it was very, very safe. What I grew up with as far as like entertainment was really fun and entertaining
yeah,
and nothing scary. And so if you can imagine my first experience of anything beyond that, being what we talked about a few episodes ago now
yeah.
of Silence of the Lambs. Um,
When did you watch that?
I think I was in seventh or eighth grade. It was one of the two. So I was like 13 or 14.
No. Oh, talk about
Throwing you
Sarah,
in the
what
deep
the
end.
heck? Oh, I remember you. Okay, so that was at your coach's house,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. With all my
Oh, talk about
friends.
throwing you in head first. Whoa.
Like I said, I mean, I was very sheltered and naive, and I didn't understand half. Like
Yeah.
I didn't know those swear words. I actually don't even remember hearing them. So I didn't understand the swear words or the slang or the
Yeah.
like the what do you call it? Like the double entendre or that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't. I know I didn't understand it.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, because even in seventh and eighth grade with everyone in puberty in my very small class, and everything thought, or everyone at that point thought everything sexual at all was hilarious. I
Uh,
mean, we were little, like you couldn't say anything and they would turn it into something.
right.
But even us at that point
It was
weren't at that
wild.
level. We weren't at that level, no. But I mean, I do remember it being pretty bad. Like we could not say anything, and they'd be like, "Oh, you know."
Yeah.
I mean, we were such teen, like,
Oh, I remember those. Oh,
gosh, it was pathetic. I mean, I think it's typical for kids to go through that stage where they're like learning everything,
it is.
and then of course, back then. And I didn't watch these until later, but I think they were watching them as they came out. We're talking about Adam Sandler. Like that was the era. So,
He was big back then. He's
oh
still
yeah, still
still
kind
pretty
of is.
big. Yeah. He,
But like his movies, and I don't know what years those came out, but I mean, it was the era of that type of humor
yeah.
being popular,
Yeah.
and we rolled with it, man. Like, I
Funny. He still is.
think it's hilarious. I don't appreciate that type of humor as much anymore, where it's like all basically like you're a seventh grade pervert.
Yeah.
You
Well, not
know?
all his movies were because, like you said, that was just like
Yeah.
where everybody was. Um, he's funny regardless. It seems like
Oh,
I don't
there's
like
so
that
much.
humor in
Like, would you like a piece of pie?
he is just
He didn't actually say that. That was
weird
someone who,
funny.
yes. I mean, honestly, he vibes. He vibes with us. His
Yeah,
type of humor.
for sure. Absolutely.
Oh, but anyways, I don't even know where we were going with all that, but my early entertainment was tame. It was great,
Yeah.
honestly. It was so funny. Ernest, Ernest P. Worrell. We were big into the Ernest movies.
Oh, I remember. Oh my
Like
goodness.
Ernest goes to jail, Ernest goes to camp, Ernest saves Christmas.
We watched those, and I did not like that guy. I didn't think he was funny. I thought
Oh, we loved him.
he was annoying and stupid, and I did not. I just thought he was so annoying, and it was just like, I mean, I'd watch him with other people, and they would just be sitting there laughing, and it was like the people in the cult, and I was just sitting there like whatever
Few
because
things they could watch.
yeah, because I could watch more. And so
It probably just
when
seems
I
stupid
came
and
back,
dumb to you.
it was so stupid.
See,
And
we thought it was hilarious. I still do.
also that way with the old time radio.
Oh, yeah.
There
We,
was a lot of the where we came from. A lot of people listened to old time radio because they couldn't watch, and so there was a lot of like
Mhm.
what was like
Like radio drama.
yeah, Love and Abner and the Abbotts.
Yeah.
So
Abbott and Costello.
Abbott and Costello, and then what it was like. Anyway, there were several, and
I
I could
mean, we
not
really lived,
see the
our
commercial.
entertainment lived in the 40s and 50s, I think.
Yeah,
Like where it really originated or came from originally.
yeah,
And I remember, okay, so one of the, of course, most people were allowed to watch the Andy Griffith show. Not everyone, because he
right.
was a divorcee, I think.
Yeah, and there was some kissing scenes, and they weren't
Oh
married
my
off
God.
camera, so they shouldn't be doing that on camera.
Um,
Yeah, that was
yeah, even Andy Griffith was questionable. Um, and then I remember when I went the first Bible college I went to one of my professor's house because of yeah, friends with his son and his girlfriend and all that. Like, yeah. Anyway, so we were at their house and they had it's okay, old TV show about being prisoners of war in a Nazi German camp.
it was an.
Hogan's Heroes. Hogan's Heroes.
I've never seen that.
And it's like I think it's satire.
What's that?
Um, so it's like where you it's like based on real events, but they make it like so unbelievable that it's like funny.
Okay,
Like exaggerate it's like exaggerated humor of real life.
okay,
Um I do really like that show. Like a lot. And still quote the sergeant who was supposed to be in charge of them like keeping control of everybody.
yeah,
Um, it was Schultz, Sergeant Schultz, and I mean the whole gimmick was that they're supposedly prisoners of war and they're in a German camp and it's like World War II.
yeah,
And you know, I mean, you know all the stories. I mean, they're horrific to be in a prisoner of war camp.
right.
But they had turned it into a joke because the um uh oh shoot, the guy in charge of the camp altogether, I think he's a general. Obviously, my brain's failing me at this point, but anyways, he, I mean, they made all of the Nazis into fools, like they were stupid and like that. So the funny part is technically like, for real, if you were in like that, you wouldn't be able to like escape or walk in and out like you wanted to. But in the show, they had the entire um everyone in charge of them duped. Like and they would go on missions. They'd smuggle people in and out through the war camp like, "Hey, yeah, get them in the slammer here. We'll get them out and home."
Yeah,
And so they have this like entire like network of tunnels underground. And I mean, so they did so much shenanigans under the Germans' noses in this show. And like, I mean, it was more like they were there, like they sabotaged so much just by staying in this camp and
right.
operate. It was more like a base of operations than a
Yeah,
prisoner of war.
and what? Yeah,
And they would just manipulate and fool these people constantly. And it was funny. It was really funny. Um, and the sergeant, I mean, they're almost like friends with the one. of the commandant. That's what it was. The commandant who was in charge of the camp. But Sergeant Schultz would, he would walk in on stuff all the time. And he's like, I see nothing. I see nothing. Because then they would like threaten to get him in trouble, so
Oh,
he would just, it wasn't worth it to him, like
yeah.
he just wanted to go home and be
Goodness.
with his wife. Um,
That is
it
so
was just,
funny.
it was one of those shows, but they had this at one of my professor's house, and that's where I really got introduced to it. Of course, my dad was familiar with it, and so I ended up buying it for him as a gift, and he loved it. But it's something that Mark and I, we like watched the entire series. Um,
I just didn't, oh my goodness.
yeah, and but it was these types of shows where they're like, I mean, it was on the level of cleanliness as like Andy Griffith, right? Like it was clean, it
Yeah.
was humorous, like,
Like the Three Stooges.
oh, okay, I don't like them as much. It was better than the Three Stooges,
I
trust me.
handle it. I cannot handle it.
Oh my goodness, my husband likes them. I don't really that much. Like I can handle a little bit, but I don't understand the obsession.
Mm-mm.
I can, like I said, I can watch a little bit at a time and it's funny, but to me, that one crosses the line into just dumb.
Stupid. It
Yeah.
is. Yeah.
But I mean, obviously, it a lot of people like that type of humor. Um,
They
it-
do, and no shame. Obviously, they
yeah,
do.
I
It
don't
is
care. It's like
not
it's
my
fine,
vibe. It is not something I'm
but
in.
it's not what I would seek out.
Yeah.
Um, to
Yeah.
me, like I feel like Hogan's Heroes actually had like, for me, obviously my opinion, I thought it was actually funny
Mhm.
and it was in it was good entertainment.
Absolutely.
Um, and especially coming, from my background, it was just fun and
Right.
everyone could enjoy it and you could watch it and not be embarrassed
Oh yeah. That's
of like anything popping up on the screen,
one too.
And I remember like when as an older teenager, like starting to watch movies that I knew weren't approved. Me and my brother would sneak and watch them somewhere somehow. Um, and they were more popular movies of the day. I'm trying to remember who we stuck and watched Night at the Roxbury. I do remember that. It was so dumb.
So stupid. Like
It
what?
was so dumb. It was
Oh.
funny.
Sometimes I wonder if people were just drunk writing these scripts. Like they,
I
it
mean,
was so stupid, Sarah.
it was, but like it's like one of those that just lives in my memory, and
Yeah,
I just
it definitely lives in my memory. And we've actually, I've actually danced like that before with a bunch of girlfriends. That when we were, yeah,
yeah, I never did that.
so
Never went to a
stupid,
club.
so stupid. I mean, it was a big hit when I was back in the day.
Yeah, it
I
was a
thought it was
big
really
deal.
funny, and it was just something that we loved. It was a movie we loved to
Well, and it
watch.
was such a dumb movie, and I just
No doubt.
it tells me that we felt like we had to sneak and watch that, and it was just stupid.
It was just a dumb movie. Yeah.
Yeah,
There is.
and there's so much control on like all this stuff, and they make it actually worse
Oh yeah. It's yeah. They
to just
magnify
super.
what's not there. They're just.
And yeah, and even if it was, it's not like when it's like telling you not to think about a pink elephant.
Mhm.
Like it just,
I draw attention to.
when you don't make a big deal out of it, it's not a big deal.
Well, it's like right now. Well, in time, just doesn't matter which time. Anytime you tell a child not to do something, that is the one thing they're going to gravitate towards. So why would you make such a big deal about something? It was just like
Yeah.
going to college and not being able to go on a date just whenever you decide to go on a date at the age of 20 or 21
Yeah.
or 25, like some of those
Yeah.
people
I mean,
had
you
to
know,
have permission. You had to go through all of these systems to get permission to go on a date with this person. I mean, they made it such a big deal that then they had real problems that
well,
they probably would not have had.
they treated you like you were 15, 14, 15, 16-year-olds who have no control over themselves. They
That
don't treat you like the adult that you have to even be there.
right. And so
The
it's
de-
just like just to get to know somebody in a setting
People would get
off
married just to get to
campus,
know you.
just to get to know you, and it created a lot of marriages, I'm sure, that were not good.
Well, they're falling apart now,
Right.
or have fallen. Like, I think it's actually made their divorce rates higher.
It had to have.
I mean, it's
I
actually crazy to
remember,
me how many people I know that I was in school with that their marriages are not together.
right. Well, this is not funny, but it's kind of funny.
Ironic.
Story. When I was engaged
Mhm.
to the kid's dad, we went into a local restaurant just like right down from the school.
Mhm.
And he saw someone that he had worked with in the past in construction or wherever, you know.
Mhm.
And the guy was in the religious organization we were and all that. And we were sitting there talking to him, and my fiance finally said, "Oh, this is my fiance, Christy," you know. And he said,
Mhm.
"Oh," he said, "When y'all get married?" And I think our wedding was only a couple months away. I
Mhm.
said, "We're getting married in May," and and he said, "Oh," and then my guy said, "Any advice from someone who's been married for at least 15 years?" And this guy was married and had probably
Right.
4 kids
Oh
by
wow.
then.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
pretty young. He was probably in his
Yeah.
mid 30s, maybe.
Probably.
And the guy raised his eyebrows and he said, "Don't do it." And I got so mad, and I just turned around and walked away. And my guy sat there and talked to him for a while, and this guy just kept telling me, he said, "Man, I wouldn't do it. If I were you, I would not get married."
I mean, I don't disagree.
I was, I have thought about that so many
I
times
wonder
throughout the
why.
years.
I mean, I have some
And I
guesses,
thought,
but
this guy did not see a way out. I mean,
he felt trapped.
when you get to that place
Hmm.
where this is why I think it is so sad for that culture, that cult, to
Hmm.
push that it is a sin to do this. I mean, that guy could have been being abused horrifically. It's not just the women that
Well, it
are,
doesn't even have to be abuse. Like if you're when
well, and
okay.
it might not have even been from his wife. It could have been from just the church. I'm talking about just any kind of psychological, but he went into the marriage knowing that if he got a divorce, he would go straight to hell. That's the kind
Well,
of
thinking. You
mindset.
think that.
Yeah, but he just knew
That's what he
that in
believed.
his head.
Yeah, that's
It's
what he
like
believed.
this kind of brainwashing is so toxic. And he just did not see. He was tired, he was worn down, and it wasn't just from working and having
Well,
to provide, it was from carrying a relationship that probably was already gone. And
well,
then
when you are forced to date that way, if that's even what you want to call it, I mean,
there's no way
as
to
someone who had to enforce these rules for a time,
go for sure. Same.
okay, so like I mean, and even just personal experience. So I dated in two different Bible colleges and had to enforce them in a third. Um, sorry, I'm gonna have to like get my words together here. They set you up to fail.
Yeah.
They don't, let me even back up from that. When you are 18, you're still being treated as both a child, like not a teenager, like young, and as if you're an adult.
Yeah.
Like there's conflicting expectations. You have never, most generally speaking, you have not been taught how to handle yourself, how to have self-control of any of the only self-control that you have is what we talked about earlier, where you have been told to basically comply or be spanked slash beaten, which in my opinion, spanking is beating. But a lot of these kids, I'm finding out later, like friends and peers, that it was far beyond just a traditional
Oh,
spanking. I mean, it was
sure.
full on
Mhm.
beating, like
Sure.
with scars,
Yeah.
like literal scars.
Bruising.
Because these people also have never learned self control, and
Right.
so all their big emotions like anger and all that stuff have been stuffed since childhood as well, and not all of a sudden their own child is triggering them,
Right.
they lose it, they just lose control
Right.
because they have no control over themselves either, and they're so brainwashed and also think that what they're doing is holy and right and will get their child into heaven somehow, which
Right.
makes no sense whatsoever when you are abusing a child in that way and then you tell them this is for your good and this hurts me more than no it does not. Anyways,
That was,
so you have all that as a child and then you grow up and you're a teen and you're not allowed, you're probably not even educated on sex education. I mean, if you have it, it's the bare minimum of like this is how you make a baby, but that's it, just the mechanics.
yeah.
And at which point you're like,
And that's another thing. Like they never even, there was nothing
there's no
like
sex
that.
ed.
Not until, well, and even in like even in the colleges, like why wouldn't they have some,
The
there's adult
stories,
people here.
the stories of these girls, and I don't even
Parents
know about the guys.
never addressed it.
They didn't know how, they did
That's it.
not know.
Yeah.
And they're like in their early 20s and do not know how babies are made.
Mhm. Oh, there's guys too.
I know,
Have,
but the girls are worse.
yeah,
The guys kind of figured things out because they were watching porn.
yeah.
Like most of them,
But some of
probably.
them didn't. And some of them didn't have a clue
Well,
until
some of them did either that, or, yeah, or it's the complete opposite, and they literally have no idea how anything works
they were scared they would go to hell if
whatsoever.
they even read about it.
Well, yeah, because you're taught so much that sex is evil.
It's all evil.
It's all evil. So don't look, don't touch, don't do anything. All like, don't hold hands, don't hug. And if you do, it's a side hug because God forbid we have breasts against our chest and don't know how to handle that.
Wow.
Um, which is a thing, a big thing actually. Um, and so as a teen, you're being taught like, all this stuff is bad, 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 wrong, 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 wrong. While at the same time, that's when all your hormones start telling you, we got to start figuring stuff out. And
Yeah.
this sounds really good now.
Yeah.
So you have all these like hormonal drivers trying to bring you into an understanding of some sort, and you have no one to talk to because you can't talk about it. You
Right.
can't talk about how you're feeling when you look at a nice looking man or a pretty girl, or God forbid, same sex attraction, or anything beyond traditional, like anything beyond traditional anything. um, so there's nothing there whatsoever, and so you have to repress your sexuality as a teen when it's like raging inside of you, and
Right.
the only outlet that you're probably going to have is porn
Mhm.
or masturbation. And again, they tell you that's wrong too.
Yeah.
Um,
And
so
here's the thing.
there's nowhere to go whatsoever. And then because you do not have any training on how to control yourself except to repress it and feel shame, no matter which way you lean, like
Yeah.
it's all shame. Then you get to Bible college where you're supposed to be super spiritual, and this is where you come to get your biblical education so that when you go out into the world, you have a foundation to stand on. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And now you're allowed to date.
Yeah. And you're
I
just getting
mean,
married just to have sex.
and yeah, because you've never been allowed
That's
to
it.
even touch a girl in any way, shape, or form, or touch a boy in any way, shape, or form. I mean, like as small as like holding hands. And of course, there's always the kids who never followed those rules. And of course, they were looked down upon and told that, generally speaking, the boys got away with it. There wasn't a whole lot there that got a whole lot of punishment. And if they did, especially in Bible college, the boys were given second chances to come back and make something, especially if they were going to be a preacher. Um, got lots of chances, and especially if you had the right last name. Um, those people were given lots of second chances.
Yeah.
But if you were a girl and you got caught doing any of that sort of thing, like being like not even having sex at all, but just anything.
Being a
If
girl.
you were existing in any body beyond a stick straight, if you had curves, you were automatically higher up on the radar of getting in trouble, of being a Jezebel, of being too sexy, of showing too much, even though like you're wearing the exact same thing as the next girl.
Right.
But the simple fact that you have more curve automatically brings you to the forefront of everyone's imagination. Um,
Yeah.
your existence is um, threatening
Yeah. Yeah.
to people who clearly have no self control in this area,
Right.
which is pretty much everyone.
Well, I didn't have the curves when I was younger,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not saying it's the only.
but it's so I don't think that I suffered from the same things that you did,
Mm-hmm.
like as far as that, but I do remember it was like God forbid that a woman would have hormones that matched a man's, or a girl would have hormones that matched the intensity of a boy. It was
Right.
all that the boys were the ones that were had the raging hormones, and it couldn't possibly happen to a girl, and if it did, she must be a sinner. I mean, it
Well,
was
or she was asking for it, or she was tempting them in some way.
she did
It was always on
something
purpose.
right. And I have so many times uh, when we would hear about like girls being assaulted or whatever, and a couple of those times it was in. I mean, it happened a lot that it wasn't talked about in the
Mm-hmm.
cult, but a couple of times it was we would hear about somebody being attacked or whatever, And there was always the question asked by somebody, what did she do? What was she wearing?
What was she wearing?
Did she invite that kind of
Yeah. Did
whatever?
she entice him? Did she tempt him? She probably did. I mean, it was almost always assumed that it was her
It
fault.
had to have been something that she did to make him think that she would be okay with that. I mean,
Mhm.
it was so, oh my goodness. I think about it now, and it's only been within the past 3 years that that idea that she had done something wrong has been eradicated from my mind. But I still remember thinking, when I would hear about a girl being assaulted, I still remember thinking she must have been wearing something that was too much for him. And I'm sorry, but that is not, it's not the
That
woman's
ain't the
fault.
way it works.
I'm sorry, it is never the woman's fault to be assaulted.
It's never the victim's
Never
fault if they're
any
assaulted.
victim's fault to
Period.
be assaulted. That's right. I'm just saying, like in a rape case where
Yeah.
it's a man
Which
assaulting a woman.
happens, it actually, a lot of rape happens in this culture, in where I mean, the victim, largely women, it's not all women. There's a lot of boys and men too. A lot of
Oh
boys.
yeah. Oh yeah. It's
Um,
absolutely.
where they believe it's their fault because they're gaslit by the perpetrator, for one, and the community at large, especially if you're a girl. Um,
Well, Sarah, there's
yeah.
actually a lot of homosexuality in the culture.
Oh, there's tons of homosexual repression.
And there's like I've even had friends that never have gotten married, and I think
Mhm.
it's because they believe that that's a sin, and
Right.
they don't fit the mold. And why live in a happiness with a woman if they prefer men, or with a man if they prefer women? And it's like the that is where this abuse comes from, is that oppression that you are. And this is a subject. Homosexuality is a subject that, it, divorce and other kinds of what they call sins are work. You can work around those. Homosexuality, people will die over. Like, it is not okay.
Yeah.
You you differ from them in your belief system where homosexuality is concerned, and I mean, you might as well have your whole
You
entire
might as
bottom
well
half in
just
hell.
like tie your own noose.
It is absolutely, you are written
Yeah.
off. Like, there is no coming back from that.
Oh,
It
you're
is
pretty
just
much a heretic.
so crazy.
Have
Yeah,
you even read your Bible?
yeah. And
I
that's
mean,
what's
yeah.
so sad, is that there are so many misinterpretations in the Bible on those scriptures about homosexuality that
Oh,
it's
well,
not even funny. And to our listeners, if you want a good recommendation around this subject, just I have a good book recommendation for you. Drop a comment below and I will leave it for you. But it is, or we will leave it for you. One of us will.
yeah,
You read it, right?
yeah,
Yeah. It was a phenomenal book. Very empowering. I loved it.
yeah. It really pointed out a lot of, I mean, and it tackles all of the arguments, like arguments head on, where scripture has been misused, not only misused, but misinterpreted,
Yeah.
um, which I was pretty aware of. And there's also a movie you can watch. It's called, I might have to put it in the link, but I'll also include it if there's any comments requesting it, I'll give you the link. But it's like 1946 something or other. And the reference to 1946 is because that is when the actual word homosexual that referred to like just same sex attraction was actually put into the Bible. And there's actually been, it was the people who translated, I think, is it the RSV? But they actually retracted and tried to correct their translation, saying we put this word in when the actual word should be something that refers to a pedophile or a predator, not just homosexual. Um,
But homosexuals are grouped in
yeah, they're
the
grouped
Bible.
in what it was actually saying was that it is wrong to be a predator
Mhm.
or a pedophile, not have same sex attraction. And then there's a lot of misunderstanding of what that even meant in the culture of that time, which is that book that you're referring to. Um,
It
really
goes into
parses out
that,
and
yes,
explains
which I
what that
love.
meant at that time and in that culture. And I mean, again, I was familiar with this, but he really puts it in a way that's quite understandable.
He does.
Yeah. Um, but anyways, like, yeah, you have such a huge amount of sexual repression, period,
Right.
through all of this. And then you're thrown into a world of like the most insane dating roles you could come up with that make no sense whatsoever. And of course, we're at this point, we haven't even taught people how to parent children in like to gradually take on their own autonomy as a person, as an individual human. They just want to control, control, control so that they come out brainwashed with their exact same beliefs. And if they stray in that from any way, shape, or form, then they have failed as a parent. Um, and they're lost and going to hell,
Mhm.
which is so messed up
Right.
that to think that way, to believe that a complete different individual should basically be your clone.
Right.
And
Yeah.
that if they're not your clone, then you've failed and that they are lost
Yeah.
and going to hell forever and going to like literally burn forever, which I don't
Right.
believe in either.
No,
Um,
there's so much. Oh my goodness.
sorry, we could spend several episodes going through
Certainly could.
this kind of stuff
We
about
could.
beliefs. But yeah, to the end of the dating world, though, it's a complete like from birth, it's a setup to fail.
Mhm.
And the people that end up together, oftentimes, if you meet in Bible college, you don't date long enough to actually know the person. And you're so repressed sexually that all you want to do is get married so you can like do it like rabbits.
Mhm.
And that's all you can think about or see. And you don't understand that you are coming from your own world of trauma
Yeah.
that you don't think is trauma. Um, and you're very brainwashed about biblical teaching
Mhm.
and behavior.
And God forbid that the woman gets tired because she's had a couple of kids, but that verse in the Bible says that you're not supposed to withhold yourself from your partner.
Well,
And
that's what they
that's
say. It
highly,
says,
yeah, they that is
oh,
highly capitalized on to make sure the woman knows that if she says no to her husband, she is sinning.
yeah. The whole point, I guess, of all this is that there's so little education and willful ignorance of like current understandings of how we work as humans.
Yeah.
And then you have so much repression. And then, like I said, you go from like that type of childhood and a teenage years, and then you're thrown into the wildest dating world you have ever like it could be trash TV, to be honest. Like,
Absolutely.
which is probably why I like it. I'm sorry, I like watching Love is Blind, but that is literally like campus romance for Bible college.
Oh, it's crazy. I
Never
remember.
thought of that. Oh, the only difference is that you can see them and they're, oh my gosh, it is something to watch Bible college romance. And it is like trash TV.
Yeah.
And these
Well,
people get married in such short amount of time.
mhm.
I just recently heard of someone who has been dating for 4 weeks and they're engaged. Um,
Aw.
there's a decent age gap as well.
Oh, really?
Um, yeah, it's kind of gross, at least in my opinion. And
No, oh no.
so it sets you up to fail because you get into these relationships a lot of times to escape your own family,
Mm-hmm.
um, because they're so abusive. And I don't think a lot, there are some I know who could, but there's a lot who can't articulate why they want to get away, except that they're just really unhappy. They do feel, of course, the insane amount of control over their lives, and they want the autonomy that they should have been learning the entire
Oh,
time
from day one. Absolutely.
from day one, and that has never been allowed.
Mm.
And then this is something that was being discussed, my husband and I, with some friends of ours, about throughout all this time, and even as adults, you get told and thrown that verse, is it Jeremiah 17? The heart is wicked above all things, who can know it?
Mm-hmm.
And so anytime you have a thought or some sort of autonomy in which you make a decision for yourself or are having a hard time making a decision for yourself,
Mm-hmm.
you run into people questioning you or telling you that you're wrong or that whatever you're doing isn't spiritual enough, if at all.
Yeah.
Because wanting anything for yourself is selfish and wrong and prideful.
Mm-hmm.
Wanting to be happy
Yeah.
is selfish, wrong, and prideful.
Yeah.
And then, they tell you that you can't know your heart,
Yeah.
but somehow these same people some think they know best and know your heart. And I'm like, well, couldn't the same be said for your heart? How would you know what's right for me when if you apply the same verse the same way, you couldn't possibly know what's right for yourself either?
Right.
And then they don't really finish reading out that chapter where that comes from, and like completely seem to forget that if you believe that when you get saved or that you repent, that you are made a new creature in Christ, that God changes your heart into something like more Christ-like, and that your intentions change and all that kind of thing, that you're made new. Does that not also include your heart?
Yeah.
And if you're only ever taught to not think for yourself and to follow what others say to do,
Yeah.
how then do you ever learn to use your mind to make good, solid, and sound decisions, just simply based on the information you have about a thing, and like be taught to learn to see patterns of behavior in people that are red flags or green flags.
Right.
Like learn if your parent never teaches you that, you're gonna fall for the dumbest shit every time. Like
Yep.
you're gonna fall for that cult mentality. You're gonna fall for that because you don't know how to think for yourself and you're so used to just doing what they say because that's what they said and that's what they said the Bible means and that's what they said this means, or and this is what I should do because it's spiritual, and it's only ever spiritual, by the way.
Oh, everything is about
um
your spirituality.
and so like not understanding that being happy is a good thing, because when you're happy it doesn't create resentment and like this buildup of anger because you're constantly in a place where you have to repress those emotions of anger and injustice, and when you're never allowed to be who you are, and I mean, and you, I'm sure, don't even know who you are.
Yeah.
Of course, I mean, it's just a recipe for disaster,
Yeah. Yeah.
just all the way around.
Well, and you're just so they make it so difficult that they can't help but to contradict themselves behind the pulpit.
All
I
the
mean,
time.
all the time. It's like they are talking out of both sides of their mouth.
Uh-huh. I mean, they say one
It is
thing and
the
mean
most
another.
ridiculous thing you ever seen.
Hmm. It is. And the further away that we have gotten from it, the more obvious. I mean, and you really sit there and you're like, how did I believe that? Like, how did I not see that this is absolutely ludicrous
It
to
is.
fall for? And let me just say, watching Frailty will have you questioning yourself again. Like,
Well, I need that.
well, I mean, okay.
I'm
And again,
ready,
it's a
bro, all the
movie,
time.
it's a psychological thriller. I do, the end, I did not see. Oh my
Really
God.
excited to watch it. We'll have to talk
Um,
about it next week then.
we have got to talk about this next week. Um,
Probably some spoilers coming around this movie. So if you haven't watched it,
well, it's
watch
from
it.
2001.
Yeah,
You have a whole
I
week to
haven't seen
watch
it.
this if you watch our podcast. And if
Yeah.
you're interested, you have a whole week to watch it. And then please feel free to comment and share your own observations.
Oh, I would love to read those.
Oh my goodness. I kind of almost want to rewatch it just to dissect the psychological side of it.
Yeah,
It's very, very psychological.
I'm really excited. I'll probably
Oh
start it
my
as soon as, or I've got some work to do on the computer. I'll probably start it as soon as we're done here.
I cannot wait. Like,
Like,
as soon as you watch it, I almost want to like just record right away.
oh, okay, well maybe I won't then.
You
I'll
have to at least talk to me about it and write down. I want to like write stuff down
yeah, okay.
because
It's intense.
it's okay. It's again, I said it's not scary.
Yeah.
It's not overly gory. It is so weird how almost just normal,
Normal it is.
how normal it feels.
Yeah.
Like, it's messed up. It's so normal, it's messed up. Like, and that is our experience. It's so normalized. All the psychological abuse and trauma is so normal.
Yeah.
That's what's so messed up. And I could honestly
Fine.
see this story literally happening in the context that we came from.
Oh wow.
Like, this wouldn't shock me one bit. But it's the end that's the twist, and where it becomes a literal like Hollywood story that
Um,
makes you question everything.
is it on Netflix?
No,
It's not on Prime.
it's on HBO. All
Yeah.
right. Well, we can land this plane. I know we have really rabbit trailed today.
Please
Um,
do that. So
but that is, I mean,
thanks for
that is part of the reason why we talk so much, is because this is how we process a lot of the things that we have experienced.
yeah.
But yeah, lots of culty talk today.
Wow.
Um, and it's, nah, like I said, this is just how we process. It's part of the reason why we started this podcast, actually. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, this is where we come from, and the things that we're becoming more understanding of and learning and getting out of, and
Mhm.
basically having to question everything we've ever been taught.
Oh,
Like everything. It
it's
sucks.
yeah,
But I'm glad that we're out and not in.
100%. I'm so glad we're out.
Yeah. Well, I don't know how fun or funny anything was today, but certainly interesting to us. But
Hope you
anyways,
enjoyed it.
I like your hair.
Yes, my friend Sarah cut my hair.
That's
When was it? Day before yesterday?
Sunday.
Sunday.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys, I love it so much. It's
We
definitely
had a real
different.
hair journey on Sunday.
We did. Oh, it was she cut my hair and two of my girls' hair.
But yours went through a little bit of a journey in and of itself.
Yes, we well she cut yeah, you cut it
Yeah, you had a longer, I mean, it was
long
still
around.
technically a pixie, but it was longer. And by the
I finally decided
after a few hours, you're just like, nope, we're not doing this whole in between thing. And
no,
I did think you were going to come to that conclusion.
just
Not so fast, not so quickly. I'm
I'm
glad
all
that you
in.
did.
Like I dive in a lot of the time, just risk taker.
Oh,
All right, everybody.
all right. I know it's going to be it's a long one today, but if you have questions, feel free to ask. I know we talk about lots of weird and crazy things, and if you're from this world, you're just like, oh, yeah. And you may also still think we're heretics, but that's okay.
You may.
Um, this is our own journey that we're on, and it's still very much in the learning process. And
Mhm. And to
well,
all of you, thanks for listening.
yes, thank you so much. Don't forget to like and subscribe and leave a review, especially if you're like whatever platform you're listening on, like rate and review.
Yes,
And we're just here for fun. We're just talking. Um, but let us know if there's something you want to hear about, if you want us to talk about certain things.
if you want our very detailed opinion on it, we will.
We'll happily give our opinion. Obviously, everything we tell is from our own POV and how we experienced things.
Yeah,
I'm sure other people would disagree, but they're not us, so it doesn't matter.
exactly
If you
right.
want to live in our body and have our experiences, you're more than welcome to
They
try.
have their opinion.
Uh,
We can have ours.
yeah,
Right.
but for now, I guess it's toodaloo. And
Until next
I don't
time.
even want to get off the phone. I know we've been on here forever, but I guess just keep talking. But anyways, we got things to do, and I love you.
Love you. Bye.
My bestie. Bye.